Todd McFarlane hasn't seen legal trouble like this since the 90s.
See how it affects our Hot 10 comics list right now.
A lot of comics spike throughout the week, and CBSI, comicbookinvest.com, covers them. This is their list, and this is our video that we accompany every week on Friday. Let's chat about number 10.
Number 10. Now, if you had been following CBSI on Instagram, you would have known about this comic about 4 days ago. They were talking about number 10, Conspiracy, the Illuminati, Mark Rossetti cover. Now, this book was selling for $25 right out of the gate for a non-TNA Zenoscope cover, which is really weird because a lot of the stuff that they do is grim fairy tales and a lot of bustier subject
That's a good way to put
matter. Absolutely. And this is a very interesting book, kind of a cool cover. And yes, there was definite buzz about it this week, and it made the list at number 10.
$25 already. This book just came out. Crazy stuff what happens in the comic book market. Coming in at number 9, we have Black Order number 1, Thanos' team. We thought they were all killed in Avengers, but you know what? It was a fan favorite. This team has a lot of hype behind it. We have the gorgeous 1 in 50 In Hyuk Lee going for a whopping $200 a couple weeks ago, settling a little bit, now going for between the ranges of 125 and 150, but consistently.
It's definitely consistently going for this. Now, when the book first came out, we saw people attempting to pull a Ghost Spider on this. There were buy it nows for $4.99, $5.99, $6.99. I was watching sellers putting it that, and the market has shown that it's a $125 to $150 book. Still well above ratio, but understanding that you can't force the public to pay a price they're not comfortable with.
All right, Russ, at number 8, we have a local comic shop day variant coming on the list. I know these are your favorite.
Well, you know, the local comic shop day variants are kind of cool. Not every shop in the country gets these because you have to be able to pay for a special membership and be able to pay for a special day. But the Green Lantern number 1 local comic shop day variant is going for $60. Now, the rumored print run is $500. I don't think the book is numbered. And as you know, with numbering, if we don't have it written on the book, it may very well not be an exact number. But that one's moving, as well as the Power Ranger Hidden Special variant.
That's right. They were in a box set. A lot of blind bags. Those are actually going for between $150 and $200 still. Very cool. Keep an eye out for those. Moving on to number 7, we have another Dark Horse favorite, one that is optioned for some type of either show or movie franchise. Black Hammer number 1. A once, what, $5 book, now going for $30.
Jeff Lemire is great. We like Jeff Lemire. Sweet Tooth is a fantastic read. A lot of the other things he's been doing is great. But yes, this Black Hammer has been very, very popular since it came out a year and a half, 2 years ago. And it's great to see this optioned.
There are also 2 San Diego Comic-Con variants. You know what the standard one was going for?
The regular one was going for about $35, $40 on eBay currently.
Oh, very good, because the retailer incentive was going for around $300 last time.
Crazy.
Interesting stuff.
Number 6, Batgirl 18, the Josh Middleton variant. Who would have thought Middleton did another fantastic variant? Well, this one is going for $30 this week.
Every one of his variants have been a hit this year. Even the ones that didn't spike very much are still being posted on Instagram on a daily basis. People are loving these gorgeous covers.
Yep. Now we're going to take a chance to give some shout outs to people who've been finding some gold in those comic book trenches. And if you want to get mentioned on our Hot 10 list, tag me on Instagram at MillGeek Comics.
And make sure to tag me at ComicTom101. You guys have been killing it on the finds.
It's so great. Kings of Golden State found 3 copies of Iron Man number 10, First Rescue.
Dang, killing it with that. Multiple copies. Love seeing that. Sniper 1166 finding a Young Avengers number 1 for only $4.
Fun Stuff Comics TX found an Invisibles number 1 for $1. That Grant Morrison book.
Invisibles number 1. We knew that would be an easy dollar bin find. We also have P. Army Man 1 getting a bunch of Harley Quinn keys. He's a regular person to make appearances on this list, just like Kate's. And look at that first Old Lady Harley hiding in the back.
It's so good. CT Collectibles found 2 copies of the first appearance of Old Lady Harley.
Ooh, and shout out to Chad, 90M90MF Comics. What a name. Scoring a Daredevil 610, as well as an Iron Man number 10, First Rescue. Let's jump back into the list at number 5.
Feels like someone's getting litigious. There was a fire that affected a bar in New York City, and what happened, Tom?
Basically, Fire Guy Ryan was making a cheese pita. All right. No, okay. What happened is there was a fire at this restaurant. This restaurant called Dead Rabbit.
Dead Rabbit actually was listed as one of the top 50 bars in the nation. So this actually was a very highly regarded bar in the, financial district of Manhattan for a long time.
They had a menu and they had a idea to make the menu a comic book and to put Dead Rabbit as the title. And they also had a really good idea, one that I bet they're really happy they did. They put a trademark in that back in September.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then they sent a cease and desist order to Mr. Todd McFarlane over at Image Comics because why, Russ?
Well, we have this fantastic comic book that came out a little bit earlier this year that was made by Mr. Gary Duggan and John McRae called Dead Rabbit.
Ooh.
And you know what? We happen to have not one, but 2 autographed posters for Dead Rabbit. Tom and I got this at Image Expo earlier this year, promotional item for the book. Now, this book itself, how much has it been going for, Tom?
This is crazy because this isn't even, this has happened before, but this got a little bit more press than past books that have been recalled. This book is going for already $15 to $20.
And there are store variants out there that they only made 500 to 1,000 of that are going for 35 to 40. Now, the interesting thing is I posted this on Instagram and I tagged you and I tagged CBSI, and I know that the buzz was already around that. This is the first time I have ever gotten a recall from Diamond that says mandatory recall. Normally it's a damage recall or it's kind of a, voluntary type thing. This was the first one where legally we had to return any unsold copies, which is why a lot of these books went from $3 and $4 to $15 and $20.
Probably also why the store variants are going for 35 to 40 now as well.
It is very, very interesting. So it's a good book. It's a good read. We're hoping it comes back under a different name. But yes, these had spiked, and we weren't saying a lot of sales at the beginning of this week. And by the end of this week, there are confirmed hundreds of sales in the higher prices. So there's a great amount of buzz about this book.
Ooh, and how could they get one of these prints, Russ?
You know what? If they like and subscribe and comment down below, make sure you hit that notification bell. We will be giving away not 1, but 2 of these posters for next week.
Awesome, awesome.
Number 4, another great Image comic book. This is Middle West number 1, and people have been very, very excited about this because Scotty Young is doing a lot of good writing. We know Scotty Young as the baby variant guy, but he wrapped up I Hate Fairyland a little while ago. A few months ago, he started Bully Wars, and now he's got a new comic book called Middle West. Now, this is the 1 in 20 variant, and it's going for $60. Ooh. Even the regular comic's going for above cover price. Scotty Young's very, very popular, and the story is cool, but anytime Scotty gets to do his own cover on his own book, we're going to see movement.
That's right. Love me some Scotty Young. A lot of Scotty Young fans in the community, and there's a lot of buzz about this comic book.
Oh, yeah.
All right, moving on to number 3. We have an Alex Ross gorgeous cover. Immortal Hulk number 2. Russ, we have a triple threat here. We have a comic book run that a lot of people are not picking up.
No, I think I only have 3 subscribers, but people keep adding it just because of the Alex Ross covers. And then when they read it, they understand that there's so many amazing things happening in this story.
Ooh, that's right. Alex Ross cover, low print comic book, and a new villain that isn't new making his first appearance here, Dr. Fry in comic books.
Now, I love me some Bill Bixby. And I really love me some Lou Ferrigno. I mean, the old school Incredible Hulk TV show, I remember watching that growing up. And it's cool to be able to see that first appearance of Dr. Fry in comic books. He was in the show in what, 1978? Like a long, long time ago. Yeah. So it's great to see him in print.
Very cool. And the comic book community agrees. This book is already going for between $20 and $30.
And this only came out a few months ago. I mean, the one that came out last week, we found out that Immortal Hulk is actually immortal. They cut him up into a bunch of little tiny pieces, and he didn't die.
Ooh, very cool. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Plastic Man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, very cool. All right. And then number 2 on the list. Heck yeah, Russ. I am glad you mentioned this in last week's Stan Lee tribute video.
This was such a cool find, and Nick over at Key Collector was the one that brought this to our attention. And the fact that Stan Lee had a 2-page, 3-page written story in one of the first Captain America books, and then they illustrated it for the 75th anniversary celebration number 1. Now, a fantastic homage to a fantastic man. And yes, these are confirmed sales going in the $30 to $40 range for a book that was literally a dollar bin book right before his passing.
Wow. Incredible. A very cool cover. I have been told This is actually, I'll be straight with you. I don't know if I want to say this on the mic, but I already started talking. I don't want to edit it out. The first meme that anyone sent me, and this has happened more than once, is of this cover saying that this guy looks like me. I don't get it. I don't really, it's a compliment, if anything, but I'll let the audience decide. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about that.
It's because you're so dapper, you have lovely glasses, and you have fantastic hair, and you look a little bit like Peter Parker.
It works. I get Harry Potter, Clark Kent, and Peter Parker sometimes. All right, moving on to number 1, though, because we have to link this off. We have another Stan Lee comic kind of making the list here. It's Stan Lee's signature.
As would have been expected, Stan Lee's Certified Signature Series stuff has just gone crazy. We know with the Legends passing, we would end up finding that even though he was a fantastic signer and signed very, very well, even into his last few months of life, that everything that is a certified signature is just spiking.
Now, sales for Stan Lee's signature, it's all over the board because it really depends what comic book that was signed. However, in this last week, we have seen over 800 Stan Lee signature sales on eBay alone. And we also know that Stan Lee signed a ton of stuff. We know in his Stan Lee box through his company before he passed away, he was signing a ton of signatures. And I know those certified signatures had like a count number.
Yeah, we had at least 40,000 confirmed signatures in the last 2 years of his life, and that's not counting a lot of the other signings he had done. So we know he was a very prolific signer. Yeah.
Wow. And we do have a giveaway from last week's Stan Lee tribute video, an 8x10 signed Stan Lee photo.
And if anyone is interested, I actually did get this in a collection, and I have the San Diego Comic-Con program where the gentleman even circled Stan Lee's signature, this is priority. I mean, we know that the provenance and where he got it, and the fact that he waited in a very long line to be able to get this signed, so it is absolutely authentic.
Congratulations, Haggy Jedi. Make sure to contact us. Info in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below so you can be entered to win the 2 prints we have of Dead Rabbit, signed by who, Russ?
Signed by Gary Duggan and John McRae. As always, thanks to CBSI, comicbookinvest.com for putting out this awesome list. Make sure you like and subscribe down below for a chance to win.
As always,
Geek responsibly.
Enough said. Thank you so much for watching the video. We are open for enrollment for the mystery mail call for the December boxes. So if you haven't signed up yet, hit the link below. Come join the community.